In this episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast, we talk about how to not appear fake in your audition video. Welcome to the How to Get on Reality TV podcast with Dan Giesling, where I answer your reality TV casting questions once a week. Hey everyone, and first and foremost, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone that is listening to this podcast. Hope you have a great one this upcoming hectic yet fun, and hopefully you have a memorable Christmas week. And it's been a fun run, and it's cool to just be able to release an episode and the Monday before Christmas and just keep things going, because you'd like to think probably a year ago we weren't releasing an episode around this time. But either way, I want to thank you guys for being a part of the show and listening and submitting questions. It's been a lot of fun, and it's always fun to continue to do this and help you guys out in the process. We have a great question this week from a listener not north of the border, but way across the pond, which is kind of cool. And let me know about a show that I didn't even know was existing, or that's about to exist, which is cool. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know about the How to Get on Reality TV email list. And some of you guys are signed up for it, some of you guys are not. But basically, the day after the podcast goes live, so every Tuesday I send an email out with one additional tip you won't find in the podcast that, you know, it answers the question. So, for example, this week's question, it's going to take it one step further. And it's just another way to gain some insight and to gain some action. So if you want to, in terms of putting yourself in a position to be successful in reality TV casting. So if you want to join that list, you can go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/list. And like I said, you get one email a week. There's no spam. It's pretty straightforward. I don't give out your email to anyone else. I just like to include it so those people that do sign up, sometimes there are special offers, but also, most importantly, it gives you one extra tip to take the answer to this question one step further. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this week's question.
Hello, Dan. I'm applying for the recently announced Australian Survivor, and I'm struggling with making my audition video. I'm trying to follow your tips on the podcast and on other resources on the site, but I feel like I'm coming across too fake in the video. I would go to an open casting call if I had the opportunity, but the network is not offering it for the show. My question for you is, how do I appear not overly fake and phony in the video? It would be really awesome if you could help me out.
Hey, Matthew from Australia. Thank you so much for the question. And we're going to answer your question in terms of how do you not appear fake or feel fake on your audition video. And before you jump into that, you said that you have listened to the bunch of the podcasts, but you said if there was an open casting call in Australia for Australian Survivor, that you had went to it. So I'd encourage you to go back and listen to the other podcasts, because that is something I would steer you away from very quickly. But to get into your question, okay, how do you not appear, or I believe how you said, feel fake in your audition video? And the overall thing, and I've said this before in the podcast, you have to get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. If you're just, some of you guys have heard this before, if you're just to record an audition video like you are in normal life, chances are you're not going to get a call back, because you have to be not fake, but you have to be someone else. You've got to be a heightened sense of yourself if you want to get further in the casting process for most people, most normal people. Of course, there are the people that are naturally dynamic, naturally should be on TV, but chances are if you're listening to this podcast, it's probably not one of those people, or maybe you just need some tweaks. But let's get into this. So there's a couple things that you need to be before you even shoot your audition video. The first thing is you have to be prepared. Okay, so if you're starting to feel fake because you have a prepared story, don't feel that way. And if you don't have a story, take a step back and prepare a story. So if you're prepared, that's the first step. So being prepared for an audition video and later on the semifinals, that's a good thing. You want to be prepared. You don't want to go in there willy-nilly shooting from the hip, because it's not going to lead to the success you're looking for. You've got to have an idea of who you are as a character, and really the only way to do that is to prepare ahead of time. The second thing is you have to be energetic. And in your audition video, if you feel uncomfortable because you're too energetic, that's a good thing. If you're feeling fake because it's not how you would normally talk in your real life, and normally you talk like this, but you don't really feel comfortable talking like this, then you've got to get to that point, because no one's going to cast you if you're, just kind of talking how you are in normal life. because it's not really that exciting. Not to say that you're not an exciting person, but on television, you can't really talk like that. It just doesn't work. Not a lot of people are going to want to watch you or tune into that. And the casting people know that. So you got to be prepared. You got to be energetic. And the last thing is you got to be real. And what does that mean? Real means, can you exaggerate? Yes. Can you stretch the truth a little bit? Yeah. I mean, can you make something sound a little more grandiose than it is? Yeah. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to lie and you don't want to fabricate. So don't say that you've done something. So don't say, hey, I'm the number one marksman in Australia. Don't say that if it's not true. Don't come up with blatant lies that aren't true to who you are, because here's the underlying litmus test for you. If you're feeling fake and someone were to ask you in casting, hey, tell me about this, if you have to step back and think about, oh, I don't know about that because I made it up, that's not the right way to move forward. Okay. What you do need to do, though, is you can stretch to. So say that, you were like a top university, marksman, or a tops university shot putter, or a tops university cricket player. Could you say, hey, I was one of the best cricket players at my university? Yeah, of course, because, or, you could even say your home province or city or state or whatever region, territory, because that's true. You can make things sound better based on, just rephrasing things. But if you've never played cricket, if you're not a marksman, don't say that. So really what it comes to me is that, make sure your substance is real, although it may be heightened. So everything you're saying needs to be true, but it can be heightened, and if it's the other thing, if it's not the substance that you're, if you feel okay with the substance, but you feel fake about how you're presenting yourself, that's just a matter of you getting to that point and understanding, hey, look, I have to be this way. I have to be more energetic. I have to be outspoken, and not loud, but, you have to turn it up. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So I hope that helps, and really, one of the other things is that to determining your realness level, if it's something you normally think but don't say for reasons of you don't want to offend someone, or it's not the way you were taught, but you really think certain things, that's okay. You want to say those things that you think, but may not always be appropriate to say in different situations. That's being real. That's not being fake. But if you're blatantly making up statements like, I don't like X party in Australia or the leading political party, but you really do, but you're just doing that to be controversial, that's fake. So it sounds like, Matthew, to me, it's just a matter of you understanding and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And, just use the underlying litmus test for you is that, and when you're saying things and you're saying and explaining your story, ask yourself, if they were to ask me a follow-up question to this, could I explain it and say why I feel this way or how I came to that conclusion? If so, then you're not being fake. If you're blatantly making up things to your story, don't do that, because it's going to catch up with you and it's just not going to work. But in terms of being comfortable, getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, the only way you're going to do that is by going through the process, creating audition videos. Keep on creating different videos. Maybe you're not happy with the first one, but you're happy with the 10th one. Over time, just like anything else, the first time you do it, it's going to feel weird. The 100th time, it becomes normal. And so I think for you, Matthew, it's just a matter of getting yourself ready. Because if this is the first time you've applied for a reality TV show, how could it not feel fake? Because a lot of it is, some of it is smoke and mirrors and things of that nature. But anyways, Matthew, hope this helps you all the way on the other side of the world. Thanks for submitting your question from Australia. I hope this helps. And I hope you take it to heart about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. But Matthew, as a small thank you for submitting your question to the podcast, we're going to send you a free digital copy of my story, How a Normal Guy Got Cast on Reality TV. And if you want your question answered on the podcast, just like Matthew, you can go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask and submit your voicemail question there through the app. You can also do it from your phone. It's really simple. Go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/app. All right, so that wraps up the Christmas episode of the podcast. I don't know, a podcast of the podcast. So I want to wish you another Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And I hope you guys have a great one with your families, friends, and pets and everything else. If you guys now is a great time. Most people have at least a week or a couple days off work. Now is a great time to get together your story, get together your audition video, because you have the time and you've got some time to prepare and think for it. So that being said, if you guys want to join the email list and get an additional tip about how to not be fake and not feel fake in the audition process, you can join the email list at howtogetonrealitytv.net/list. It's a free email letter that I send out every Tuesday with no spammerino for you or your family. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Merry Christmas and have a happy holiday.